Hello people, welcome back to the channel. Yes, this video is finally here, the 500 subscribers Q&A video. It's a big milestone, it's a cause for celebration, and all of it is down to subscribers and viewers like you. So thank you very much. I asked for questions and you've submitted quite a few. I will try and go through as many as I can, but if I've missed anything, you don't have to wait for the next Q&A video. You can write it down in the comments and I will try and answer those questions below. There is no reason to wait any longer. Let's go and start with the questions. So the first question is, where are you living? So I am living in the UK, but you can also refer to the 200 subscribers Q&A video where I give a little bit more detail. So why did I pick this question even though I have answered in the 200 subscribers Q&A video? It's because I was asked another question in the KGF trailer reaction, and I was asked whether I will go and watch that movie. And I didn't really answer it then, and I said wait for the 500 subscribers Q&A. And the simple answer is it depends on whether KGF is released in any of the theaters nearby. If it does, then I will definitely go and watch it. The second question is also about me, and I promise this is the last one about me. We'll move on to the other questions after this. And the question was, tell us a little bit about your work. Are you settled in the UK, or do you have plans to coming back to India anytime? So 3 questions rolled into one, but let's take them one by one. So I used to be in software when I started my career. I don't think that will come as a surprise to anyone. And then after a few years, I moved to management consulting, and very, very recently, I've moved back into operations management. I do it for a very large utility company in the UK, and that's probably enough for now. And when I say recently, it was very recently. So when you started seeing me posting reactions in this car, that's when I changed my job. The next one is a little bit tricky and depends on what your definition of settled is. I don't consider myself settled, but I'm not here temporarily. So not a straight answer, but it's quite a difficult question for me. Any plans of coming back to India to visit? Definitely yes. So it's been a couple of years since I went back to India for our holidays. My family is still there, but I do plan to visit India very soon. Sometime next year, I will be coming back to India for a vacation. And hopefully after that more regularly than I have done over the recent past. That brings us nicely to another question that was there in the comments. And the question was, why did you react in a parking lot? So like I said, I recently changed my job and the schedule didn't seem to work. By the time I would come back and with winter setting in, there wasn't enough natural light for me to react to. It is getting even worse. So the only option I had was to shoot the reaction videos while there was still some daylight outside, and that was happening only during office hours. And obviously I can't do this inside the office. So this is my break time. I would come out and shoot the videos over here. I am looking at another option to see if I can move out of the car and do the reaction videos somewhere else. Hopefully that will work out soon. Watch this space. And that's all about me. There are some other questions now. So there was a question which said, who are your top 3 South actors? So if you've seen the 200 subscribers Q&A video, I was asked about my favorite movies. And I said, that's a difficult question to answer because that answer would change depending on when you ask me. And I think my choices are based on slightly different reasons. They're not just because these guys have done great movies or they are great actors, but it's because of the impact that they have made. And I would say the first one is obviously Prabhudeva. So in terms of the choreography and the quality of dance that you would see in Bollywood, I think there is a time before Prabhudeva and after Prabhudeva. He's probably the one who had the biggest impact. If you see any of the dance sequences before him and when he came on, the difference is like day and night. So I think he had a massive impact on what our expectations were. So for that reason, it will be Prabhudeva. The second one will be Prabhas. And I'm not saying this just because of Bahubali. I first saw Prabhas in the Telugu version of Billa, and I was quite impressed. I mean, that was, I think way back, that was my introduction to South movies, and that movie completely changed my view of the South industry. So it will have to be Prabhas, and I think at this moment he's probably the most genuine crossover star. So I'm not talking about a South movie star doing a Bollywood movie. Bahubali is a Southern movie. It's done how a southern movie will be done. And yet his reach is massive. He has reached all over India and it has been accepted all over India. So I think that's probably a watershed moment where South movie stars, to become national stars, don't have to come over to Bollywood. And he has shown that it works. So for that reason, Prabhas. From the very recent ones, I would say it will be Rakshit Shetty. And I think it's quite a lot of factors rolled into one why he is in this list. It's not just down to his acting. I think it is what kind of subject matters he has chosen, the movies that he has made, and the quality of those movies. So that will be my top 3 at this moment. If you ask me again in a couple of months' time, that list might change, and I hope it changes. Even at this moment, my knowledge of South movie industry is fairly limited, and I am looking to expand that. So if you did not find any names that you were expecting in this list, it's only because I'm not as familiar with them. So in the comments, write down your favorite actors and one of their movies that you think, if I see it, I will change this list. I am looking forward to those comments. The next question is, which is your favorite South movie so far? I think the same disclaimer applies. If you ask me this question at a different time, the answer will be quite different. But at this moment, I think I will say Magadhira. And the reason is a little bit long-winded, but I think this was the movie which was used very successfully to test if the audience is ready to see historical fantasy kind of movies. And I think this paved the way for all the investment and all the effort that went into Bahubali. I don't think without the success of Magadhira, we would have seen Bahubali. So for that reason, I rate Magadhira quite highly. Yes, as a movie, it had its flaws, but I think as a test case for changing the style of movies that is made and seeing if the audience is ready for that, I think this was a very good movie. Without a doubt, Ulidavaru Kandante. And if you're waiting for the review of that, that will be out pretty soon as well. I'm still doing some work on that, but I will put that video out. Also, Drishyam in Malayalam. So in my view, it weaved together the circumstances and the surroundings seamlessly into the story. So everything appeared very natural and it kept the suspense, and I think it was a really well-made movie. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I did not like the Bollywood version as much as the Malayalam version. If you have any movies in your list that you think I must watch and that will change this list, write it down and I will try and check those movies out. One final question and then we will wrap it up. And like I said, if you have any more questions or I missed any of your questions, write that down in the comments and I will try and answer them. So this question was, what's your favorite film industry? I think you would have been able to predict the answer so far with the amount of videos I've put out from this industry. Until very recently, I would say I did not know much about the Kannada film industry. And it was a bit of a mystery for me. The other 3 industries were more recognized. So I used to wonder what is happening with the Kannada film industry. So thank you to Ashwin for introducing me to it. If you've seen more than one of my videos, then you know the kind of movies that I like. And I think for that, Malayalam film industry as well, the kind of topics it picks up, the sort of non-glamorizing way it presents its stars and the stories and how realistic and relatable they are. For that reason, I also like the Malayalam film industry. This is not to say that I don't like Tamil or Telugu films. I have seen a handful of those as well, and I do like them, but I think generally what you associate with Tamil and Telugu film industries are more mass movies, more popular, glamorized kind of stories. Yes, some of them are definitely very good, and they do push the envelope. 2.0 is an example. But I think overall, if you ask me, I prefer the Malayalam and the Kannada film industries more than these two. Again, if you disagree, write down the movies that I should watch, and if that makes me change my mind, I will come back and admit within this video or one of the next Q&A videos that I have changed my mind. So that's all the questions for now. Any more questions if you have, write them down in the comments. Thank you again for all the support you have given to the channel. Keep watching, keep sharing, and keep making those suggestions. Anything good that you see on the channel, a lot of it is down to the suggestions that I've received. So thank you very much.